Welcome back. Concerns about the health of the economy. Win Big Media conducting a national survey that looks at the 2020 spending habits of 40,000 consumers. Here's what we know. 35.9% of those surveyed said that the economy right now is poor, largely due to the impact of COVID-19. Joining me right now is the CEO of Win Big, Phillip Stutts. Phillip, it's good to have you this morning. Thanks very much for joining us. You know, it's interesting because, yes, we've got COVID, and it's obviously been a very tough year, but the consumer has held up very well in the face of this. So how do you read this survey?
Yeah, it's a really good point. I think a lot of that has to do with how the stock market has performed. But what we've seen is about 70% of the consumer market feels locked out of that. And where we really looked at this study, again, we surveyed over 40,000 consumers. Maria, we modeled it to 200 million plus American consumers in our database, 550 million connected devices, and we're tracking 10 billion purchasing decisions every day and a trillion searches every day. And what we found was everything is moving towards June 2021. You see 81.4% of Americans believe the vaccine will be widely distributed by June, and then 83% of the American economy believe the American economy will come back to its previous form by June. So everything they're staking everything on June 2021. Obviously, there's some factors that may get in the way, but right now, that's how the consumer marketplace is looking at the comeback.
Yeah, this study also shows 83.3% of consumers are positive about the economy returning to what we had actually before COVID hit. 81.4% believe the vaccine will be available for everybody by June. But Phillip, are you expecting people to get back to life the way they were? What effect do you think this will have longer term?
Yeah, so again, it's the hopes and dreams is really where they're looking at June. I'll take one industry, for example, the travel industry. We're seeing right now that 75% of the American consumer is ready to book personal or business travel starting in June and going through the rest of 2021. And so that's just one industry that we studied and we looked at. Now, there are certain factors that could get in the way of this. The vaccine being, what's that?
Nothing. No one said anything. Go ahead, Phillip.
No, the vaccine not being distributed, a holdup by the new Biden administration would be a massive roadblock. And let's say, Joe Biden has now come out and said he wants to raise taxes by $4 trillion. That could also get in the way if they're pushing that early in the year. We also could see if the stock market crashes, that could be a huge factor. And then the political unrest of the country. So we've seen four factors that could get in the way of this. But right now, there is optimism with the American consumer that by June, they will have a vaccine and the economy will come roaring back for them.
All right, we'll see. We're talking about 7% GDP in 2021. Phillip, it's good to see you this morning, sir. Thank you. Have a great day. We'll be right back.